Ah, jeez. All right, let's see. Let's see what I got here. Let's see if I did it right. Let's see if we got this right going on over here. Looks like we're live. Let me click on it. Should be. That screen should be going away. We're gone. We're good. I think we're here. I think we've done it again. All right. Yeah, I'm watching myself over here. I'm watching you. All right. So I gotta get this laptop closer to me so I can see the chat. All right. Thank you guys. See you guys in the chat here. Tim, Roaring, Cuban, Chad. Thank you guys. Puck, is that Puck Monkey? Yeah, we're on. Okay, good, good. Stu is trying to wrangle up some some extra goodies. Yeah. Good
Good morning,
morning.
everybody. I can't see the chat.
You got to go. You got either use your phone. You don't need to watch me. In other words, you can take off. You can just minimize your Zoom and go watch it on YouTube like you're watching a video.
Oh, right.
Yeah, and I
Okay,
can.
hold on.
Yeah, and I can still see you. All right,
All right,
guys.
hold on.
Chad, so you're angry, Chad, huh? I'm still in shock. If you guys watched the video I did earlier, um, I'm just gonna get this part out of the way. Hey, Nick, how you doing? Yeah, some interesting conversations behind closed doors. So, a couple days ago, and we're gonna start at the end and work our way back because Stu and I have been on this for a while. But a couple days ago, I made the video because I got irritated at everybody talking about how we were going to trade Lundell for Tkachuk. And I, I basically, for lack of a better phrase, I called the exact trade. I said, if we want to call Calgary and give them Huberto and Uyghur and any other prospect in a first, I'd do it. And so I wake up this morning, and Stu had texted me like 2 in the morning, and I'm reading the article, and I'm thinking, come on, you guys are trolling me. I'm looking at the web address to be sure it's NHL.com and not like the Onion/NHL or something, because I just couldn't believe that 2 days later, exactly, who calls a blockbuster like trade? It's not done. So. Yeah, no more weather with Uyghur. Soflo's here. Tim, gonna do our best to get with the chat, guys. Do the best. It's early. It's early.
I'm watching it also.
Yeah, so Stu's got you back there. Stu, what do you got? Because you've been more involved with this. Tell them what happened for you.
So last night I cooked a big dinner for my mother and my sister. Came back, did my usual post dinner cigar, and I must have fell asleep. Okay, I wake up at like 2 o'clock, and I do my normal routine, which is check Instagram and check Twitter. And the first thing I see on Instagram is "Thank you, Jonathan Huberdeau," and I'm like,
What?
and then I see "Thank you, Mackenzie Weegar." All right, so then I like, whoa, and I get notifications from the NHL, so I scroll down on my phone and open up, and it's the article about the trade, and I'm like, still shocking. Then I go on Twitter, and before I could see anything posted, I see that there's a live chat going on with Kirby and Tim. I think One Bad Steve was on there, and this young lady who I had never met, Lexi, and so I joined, and I'm starting to listen, and I hear my name mentioned. Actually, I hear both of us. Stu and Jaws were like right on this and this and that. So of course I requested to join them, and make a long story short, we were up probably to almost 5:30, 5 o'clock, whatever, and then we shut it down because I got to go to sleep, and
Yeah.
it was really nice of them to have me on, and love talking Panther hockey with other fans. And, you know, we kind of, I think we were all in agreement that this was a good trade for us. I mean, I don't know if a first rounder was needed to be included, but it's done. So, you know,
Right.
can't do nothing about it. You know, we talked about the fact that Huberdeau was, you know, well, listen, let's start our thing here.
Yeah.
Huberdeau was going to ask big money, 10, 11 million, whatever. I always said he's going to want the same contract that Barkov got. 10 years at 8 years at 10 million. So he's 30 now, I think.
And 29, he's gonna be 30.
So I mean, you know, we don't want another situation like Bob where we're gonna have to buy him out.
Right.
And Zito watches our videos because the day after we lost to Tampa, Huberdeau's at the pool with a glass of champagne, smiling, or whatever that post was.
Yeah, he was.
As soon as we went up and made the video about it, in like an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours later, it disappeared. So maybe Zito, you know, somebody,
Well, somebody.
who knows?
Yeah.
Somebody who is somebody saw that and said, you know, this is his attitude after
It wasn't a good look.
not showing up in the playoffs.
Right.
So,
Right.
you know, we talked about how we wouldn't cry if Huberdeau, if we got the right return for him. And as far as Uyghur goes, you guys know I pegged that early on. Uyghur was, you know, going to probably ask 6-7 million, and there's no way in my mind that he's worth more than 5.5. So,
Right.
you know, as far as that Schwint guy, didn't really watch him too much. And again, the first rounder, questionable,
Right.
whether we had to do that. So, I mean, we don't have any first rounders for like the next 4 years.
Yeah. So
And
For
but
me-
what we get in return.
right. So the I can't complain because I'm the one that told Zito to make the deal. So I can't complain about my own deal. It's funny because I said any other prospect other than Lundell, and I wish I would have said Lundell and Schwint because Schwint was my favorite guy. But okay,
Yep.
look, we had to give up some guys. The Uyghur thing, I think we all kind of saw the writing on the wall with that in terms of he was going to want too much money, plus the mistakes. You know, he didn't help his contract situation out at 3.8 seconds left against Tampa. He didn't help that situation out.
And the Capital game, too.
Right. And then with Huberdeau, now I've been saying I'm on record saying for years, I thought Huberdeau was, when Huberdeau and Barkov both played to their best of their ability, I felt Huberdeau was the better player. I understand that's debatable. I've been saying for years, I want to see him play a full season where he's got that energy, that anger, that swagger, that mojo. And he did it. And then in the playoffs, it's not like he was terrible, but he did not elevate his level of play whatsoever. And then the who cares moment, okay? There's that. And then there's the Instagram post where it was, I mean, basically he may as well have said, I'm having a hot boy summer. It was some allusion to having a fantastic summer. He's on vacation. He's thrilled he's on vacation. And this was, I think it was in the middle of the Eastern Conference Finals. I don't even think it was the Cup Finals.
Yeah,
So-
it was right, like the day after.
Right. And so he had to take
Well,
it down.
2 days after.
Somebody got to him and said, John, that's not a good look. Now, that's a lot to give up, including the extra first. But let's look at this. Cap-wise, obviously, this solves all of our problems now. We are. Oh, I'm knocking over here. We are flush.
This
What
young
was-
lady Lexi said we have 16 million now.
Right. Well, I mean,
And I don't know if that includes Duclair's, you know, LTIR, but
right. I'm not sure Well, I haven't seen what the money is or what the money is going to be with Tkachuk. I know we've got to have some.
9.5 for 8 million.
Is
It's
nine.
done.
Okay, well that's cheaper than we were going to get Huberdeau. All right, so
And
okay,
he's 6 years younger.
and that's the biggest thing to me is that, and I said this in a couple of videos before I even said that the trade prediction the last time. Um, you know, he's gonna be 30. Huberdeau's going to be 30. We've had him at his peak. Now I'm not saying he's going to slide off, but another couple of years you start hitting 32. Look at Hornquist. Hornquist is 34. Everybody views him as an old man. It happens fast, right? So to me, you get a younger, maybe better version of Huberdeau.
More well-rounded.
Right, okay. And he's signed, we're locked up, we're good. And if we weren't going to re-sign Uyghur, then I'm not saying there's nothing lost there. It's a lot to give up for him, but I think, on the surface it sounds like we gave up Huberdeau and Uyghur, and oh my God, but they were both going to be free agents, right? And the odds of us having the math to sign both guys were not, it was pretty much not going to happen. And so to be able to get out of that situation and replace Huberdeau with a younger, probably what most people might consider a better version of himself, is a no-brainer. Now,
I think it's a different, two different players.
Yeah.
What Tkachuk brings to us, in addition to talent, is the grit that Huberdeau didn't have.
Right.
So,
right.
Anyway, before we go further, I just want to give a shout out to my man Ben in England, the UK, who's on. So hey, Ben, it was pretty cool last night him joining us on that
Gotcha.
and there's somebody else. Oh, I think Timmy says to me, I'm finally going to get my Ekblad Forsling pairing. Well, hope so. Go ahead. Continue your thought. I apologize.
No, that's okay. I'm reading the chat too. Chili Willie saying
I
apparently.
think you made your point and whatever.
Yeah,
but
Tkachuk's
Tkachuk's going into his
right
peak years.
Right. Now, so where this leaves us is this. Now you and I are on the hook. So this is a personal message to Gustav Forsling. You better be as good as we think you are, or I'm going to have the puppets excommunicate you as well. Right? The puppets run this shit. In case anybody hasn't noticed, every time I say the puppets told me something, it happens. So Forsling, Gustav, you better be as good as Stu says you are.
Well, this definitely opens the door for him in a number of ways.
Right.
Obviously, I'd like to see him paired with Ekblad. We've never really seen it other than, just if perchance, they're line changing and they end up playing for a little bit. But I also want to see Forsling quarterbacking the power play. And maybe even have Ekblad on the power play in that Stamkos Ovechkin slot for his one-timers. But obviously that's an area that needed improvement. And, a comment was made on that Twitter thing last night where the defensemen back away from Huberdeau and Barkov for that, because they're past, especially Huberdeau, they're past first guys.
Right.
So, anyway, you want to break. Well, look at how many defensemen that we've signed since the end of the season. So, I'm still thinking this getting rid of Uyghur was in Zito's mind from day one. And, I mean, all it comes down to, Eric, is you just substitute Bob with Huberdeau.
Right. Yeah.
And I knew we weren't going to be able to move Bob, but and this sends another message to the team.
No, it does.
We can trade,
anybody's tradable.
A Panther Hall of Famer. If we could trade Huberdeau, who was second in the league in scoring, then we can trade anybody.
Yeah, if Huberdeau can get that is an excellent point. As far as the defense is concerned, I believe since I clearly have a direct line of of communication with Bill. I'm just going to call him Bill now because he just at this point, yeah. I believe what he must be feeling is you're just like you said. You put Forsling up to so Ekblad, Forsling, Montour, Gudis, Carlson, and maybe Stahl. No, you don't. I mean,
Yeah, well, we talked about that last night.
we got room now. It's we got room to do things, but I mean, there's no more assets to make any more deals.
One more comment about the power play.
Yeah.
So if it's not Forsling, then have it be Montour, because as much as I love Aaron Ekblad, I don't think he's the quarterback for our power play. I think he should be, again, slotted in that spot for his one-timers and let somebody else, bring the puck up.
Right.
I wish they would ban the back pass.
Yeah, right.
But anyway.
Well, maybe Maurice doesn't like it.
Yeah. And again, my thinking with Maurice is, he's going to be more playoff-oriented hockey style. So that means, more emphasis on the defense.
Right.
I don't think Zito's done. And I mentioned something in that chat last night about Dumba. I think the numbers could work. And depending on who we would give away that Minnesota would take, I like Dumba in that second D spot. I don't know if Dumber's a righty or lefty shot, but anyway.
So
but
you think
Mark Stahl might be the one that plays with Gudis. I don't know.
Right. I mean, we got him for a reason, but this is going to give Forsling and Montour obviously an opportunity to show really what they can do. And the more I'm thinking about it, I think everybody would have been like, okay, even trade, even deal. If we wouldn't have given up the extra first round pick, I think that really, that really is the piece that makes you go, wow.
Yeah, that's a head scratcher.
Right.
But maybe that was the deal breaker.
That's what I'm thinking. Is that?
Oh, Ben just posted Del Zotto. Will
That's
be a
right.
Sneaky good addition. So forgot about him.
That's right. And he's on a 2-way deal. So I mean, if he has enough gas left in the tank, we'll see. I mean, we do have a couple of guys, excuse me, in Del Zotto and Stahl, that certainly are going to be capable at 6D if should that be. And really, I mean, think about it, Stu. I mean, if nothing else happens, Ekblad, Forsling, Montour, Gudis, Carlson with either Stahl or Del Zotto. I mean, and then you make a deal if you need a guy a defenseman. If you need juice on the blue line, you make a deal at the trade deadline. But
our friend Puck Monkey says Dumba equals RD and UFA next season. Yes, that's correct.
Right.
And then Chili Willie says, LOL, and Dumba and Duke are hanging out.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Oh, I didn't know they were friends. But yeah, he's a guy that I've liked for a long time. I like Truba too, but obviously we didn't get him. So. Right.
And yeah, I see people like SoFlo thinking it's going to be White, Bennett, and Reinhardt. That's going to be the other interesting thing. Is it's going to be how we still.
No, it's going to be Lundell here now. The guys on the podcast, we were talking about pairings,
right,
and the pairings that stay together. So you have Barkov and Verhaeghe,
right,
Lundell and Reinhardt, and Tkachuk and Bennett.
Yeah.
And don't forget, Bennett was, Tkachuk's teammate in Calgary.
Right.
And Lexi posted something that Bennett had 1.9 points when he played with Tkachuk.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
Interesting. And thank you, Lexi, for all those statistics last night. She did cap friendly stuff, and
Right.
the first time that I met her, so it was nice chatting with her.
Well, I'm still looking at the chat. So, all right. So Chad says you don't understand why people think this is a good trade. All right, Chad. So here's the take. Usually, my take anyway. What I feel like let's put Uyghur over here to the side, okay? Because I think when the Panthers said they were miles apart with Uyghur on his contract negotiation, I think we all saw the writing on the wall. So basically, what we did was we traded a first and Schwint and Huberdeau for a younger version who's already as good as Huberdeau. That makes
But
any
again,
sense.
I don't think he's a younger version. I think
Well, when I'm saying younger version, I mean in terms of like the number of points he's going to give the team.
okay.
You know what I mean? I'm just plugging the points into the
Okay.
lineup. You know what I mean? We're not losing points from Tkachuk.
I just think he's a better defensive player, and he brings more aggressiveness. He's not afraid, to mix
Right.
it up.
Right. Chad, I understand, Chad, what you're saying about, being torn on this deal.
And again, mention the fact that Huberdeau's 30.
Right, and that's
He would have
that's,
wanted an 8-year deal at
Right.
least $10 million, at least what Barkov got.
right.
So that takes him to 38. We most probably would have been buying him out
Right.
at 36 or whatever.
That's a really good point. Is that the difference for what this does for the core? I mean, I said it in the video that I predicted the trade. I said the Huberdeau Barkov window is not as long as y'all think. Huberdeau's fixing to be 30. And last year was really the best opportunity because of how.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and to be honest, I'm telling you, now you're looking at you want to talk about what your cup winning core is going to be. Your cup winning core is going to be Knight, Tkachuk, Lundell, Bennett. Okay, and I'm not saying Barkov's not going to be there. Okay, but guys get old fast in this league, and I'm not saying that that's what's happening to Barkov. But when we signed Barkov to the long term deal, we already got the one guy who's going to be in his mid to late 30s, whenever it is when the deal is done. You look at all these other teams who end up in all these positions. Okay, with Boston not being not knowing what they're going to do with their aging players, and Pittsburgh, and the list goes on. And what Zito did here was I think if we was going to win with Huberdeau and Barkov as the two guys, I think last year we would have saw a hell of a lot more. And to your point, Stu, I really believe the more I think about it, the who cares, and that I telling you that Instagram post,
Absolutely.
I believe we were not the only ones who saw that and said,
Not a good look.
it's not a good
The
look.
fact is, and this is such a good intangible, both Barkov and Huberdeau have not raised their level of game in any of the playoff series that we had. It's like they disappear.
Right.
You have our leading goal scorer, who's again in the top 3 in scoring in the league, and he basically gets shut down. And it's not so much that Tampa did such a great defensive job on him. Look how many times he passed up shooting the puck. So,
And that's another
again,
thing. Right.
I like the trade. I like the trade. And from a money standpoint, something had to be done.
Right.
When you think about it, just substitute Tkachuk's salary for Huberdeau's salary.
Right.
You got 4 guys that make up half your cap.
Right. that's the other part to it is that
And then you
money.
obviously you throw in Uyghur's contract, and again, we probably would have paid him. I'm saying between 5 and 6, but there were people on there saying that he probably wants 7, and there's no
Right.
way
No.
he's worth 7 million.
No. 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 And that's the other thing. Calgary now they've got to make part of this deal, guys. Remember, we managed to we're done. We know we got Tkachuk. He's signed. We're good. Calgary gets 2 guys on expiring contracts. So now maybe they could flip them. They might want to flip Uyghur for assets and sign. They may want to flip Huberdeau for assets and sign Uyghur. Who knows? Maybe they sign both guys.
I still say Huberdeau eventually will be in Montreal.
Right. Yeah, I saw a lot of that on Twitter too. And Huberdeau doesn't have to sign. Neither one of those guys have to sign, right? Okay? Uyghur could be like, "Oh, you're gonna do me like that, Florida," and not sign, and then the Lightning pick him up.
Yeah. SoFlo Sports says, "Where was Tkachuk in the playoffs?"
I don't have the stats pulled up.
I don't have the stats either, but
right.
Again, the type of game that he brings, and playing on the Panther team and the talent that we have, I'm expecting big things from him on the power play. But that's a guy that can be the front of the net presence.
Right.
That will take punishment.
I believe if memory serves me correctly, I could be way off here, but I believe what I saw when I was looking at Tkachuk's numbers was 8 points in 12 games in this last playoff. But that's totally off of memory. I could be way off there, but I think it was 8 and a 12 in there somewhere. Look, obviously, I haven't seen him play enough to have an overly educated opinion. You go by the stats, you go by what you see other players, other fans, other teams say, right? I mean, when Flyers fans were thinking maybe Yandel had some gas in the tank, and we had to tell them, yeah, no, okay. When Ranger fans got all excited about for Toronto, and I said, hey, just wait 5 minutes. He'll disappear and take some stupid penalties and then reappear. So fans that have watched these guys play know what they're like. If I'm Calgary right now, I'm certainly not feeling better about the team than I was. They're I'm not saying that Calgary's tanking or anything stupid like that. But I think Steve posted the stat last night. Like in the top 10 of giveaways in the NHL last night, it's either 5 and 6 or 6 and 7, somewhere in there, or 4 and 5, or Huberdeau and then Uyghur. So we traded the 2 players on our team that were in the top 10 in giveaways in the NHL last year. That's got to help in some way. And
all right, so check out the comments here. So
okay.
Ben just posted that Tkachuk had 4 goals and 6 assists in 12 games.
Okay, so
and then Gators rocked at Tim on the power play, which was 0 for 27. Huberdeau obviously played a really big part of that power play, and as we all saw, look how many shots he passed up. So apologize for that.
Gators, Tim, exactly.
Yeah.
The 0 for 27
again, from a money standpoint, we definitely had to free up some cap, and
right.
I don't think Zito's done. Maybe nothing gets done before the season starts.
Right.
Who knows? Also, comments were made last night about Mark Stahl, because you and I have talked about Mark Stahl and if he's over the hill and
right.
yada yada, and they all said that he had decent years. I think it was 2 years in Detroit.
Okay.
So yeah, he was always a solid defenseman for the Rangers.
Right. Right. Well, I still just can't believe this happened. I mean, it's
Yeah.
I wish we had enough steam, but I know we can't. I wish we could have gotten Goldie's take on not being able to use his Huberto, his Shooby Dooby Doo call anymore. You
Oh
know.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
I mean, there were people on there last night talking about the Panthers retiring Huberto's numbers.
Right. Yeah, I mean it's
I mean,
not
obviously, for the diehard Huberto fans, it's going to be tough.
Huberto. In fact, let me see if I got it.
Really tough for Barkov and Ekblad.
I'm looking at my phone because I had texted Matthias because Huberto's his favorite player.
Yeah, a lot of people's favorite player. Hold on one second.
Yeah. All right, so let me take a look at the chat here real quick. I'm still half asleep, guys, and I'm just in shock. Tim wants to know, Jostradamus, can I get the Powerball numbers for tonight? I can't. Well, I'm telling you, when I saw what Stu sent me, I still couldn't believe it. I thought somebody like watched the video and made up a fake page to troll me, because that made more sense than me getting it exactly right. It made more sense that somebody would have just been trolling me about it. But then,
So some of these chats coming through.
yeah, some of the stuff's pretty fast. So you're quicker than I am this morning.
Brian Lopez. People online keep saying Uyghur was elite. I don't agree. If that's true, that means Forsling is elite, because in my opinion, he was playing better. Forsling is a much better all-around defenseman.
Yeah.
And the thing with Forsling, and he showed it at the end of the year, he had that 8 games, stint where he scored 8 goals. So he definitely has the offense ability. He just concentrates on defense and doing,
Right.
That's his number one priority. But
Right.
I think if he lets loose, who knows? That's a guy I think, you guys might laugh, but let's see what happens at the end of the year. That's a guy I think that could score 15, 20 goals.
Forsling?
I'm making that,
Oh yeah. I'll give you that.
prediction right now, especially if he's on the power play. I really think that his puck handling ability and his hockey IQ,
Right.
his hockey IQ is off the charts. I think taking the pressure off Ekblad, running the power play, is going to make it a better power play.
Yeah, it's really going to be.
And why not have 2 defensemen on the power play? Again, if Ekblad goes in that slot, to the, that OV Stamkos spot, which I call it, and
Right.
they set him up for the one-timer. I mean, he's got the bomb of a shot. So
who got the call first? Was it Huberto, Uyghur, or did Bill call Maurice and be like, "Yo, hey, guess what we're doing"? I wish I could have had a bit of fly on the wall when they told Maurice. Good and bad for him, right? Good and bad for him, because it's not quite like when we fired Q, obviously, because it's not in the middle of the season and all of that, or when Q resigned. But come camp is going to be a different feel. He's going to have, remember what Billy told us about that 96 team, when I mentioned to him about the Barnes for Woolley, the Barnes and Woolley for Wells deal. And he said that it basically, I think it tore apart the locker room, was to paraphrase what he said. And look, I mean, Huberto's was the longest tenured Panther, right? Because Huberto was first before Barkov. There's going to be guys that are upset this morning. Let's not pretend, as us as fans, we're allowed this conjecture and all of that. But I'm sure I'm sure Alexander Barkov, Sam Bennett, I'm sure a couple of those guys got woke up and said, WTF, you know. In fact, if you remember when Eric Branson got traded, remember when Willie Mitchell he tweeted out WTF when they traded Branson, and that was it. So that's the other part to this is Maurice is going to have to do there's some work to do there. There's going to be some work to do there. I saw somebody in the comments, I forget who it was. Sorry, guys, it's going too fast for me. But saw somebody say, take the C off of Barkov and give it to Tkachuk. You know, I mean, I don't think Maurice has got the head. I think at this point, because Huberdeau's gone, I think changing captains at this point would be too much. Chaos. You know what I mean? And so I think this kind of solidifies Barkov now in the sense that you don't want to cause too much chaos. And you got two guys that were considered big parts of the team gone. You got a new guy coming in, and you're going to have. I mean, the funny part about all of this is I can't remember how many years, but it's been a few years because of the Tippett and the Borgstrom attempts and all of that. We still kind of technically have a hole in the top six. We still are short that one guaranteed winger in the top six because, or are we now? Maybe not. Well, it depends. It depends on what you want to put with Lundell, right? So you got Barkov with Verhagen, I guess Duke when he comes back, and then Bennett with Tkachuk and that's where I get to, right? Am I forgetting somebody? I know somebody might want to say Reinhardt, but I want Reinhardt with Lundell. So I believe we still...
Yeah, again, the pairings.
Right.
Verhaeghe, Barkov, Bennett, Tkachuk, Reinhardt, Lundell.
Right.
We need to find a left winger.
Right, and Duke takes one of those wingers.
And Reinhardt that plays the type of game that Marchment played.
Right.
And I don't know whether they said Colin White or Nick Cousins could be that guy.
Yeah, I remember somebody saying one of those guys. I believe it was Cousins, but I could be wrong.
Warring Angels. Matthew Tkachuk is going to be a top 5 player in the league. Listen, he got 94 points, and I don't disagree with that. Patrick O'Neill. He would be Matheson 2.0 if we signed him to a ridiculous contract. I agree. Maybe not as bad as Matheson, but still. Rick Manzone, is Klingberg still available? We talked about that last night. I like Klingberg's game, but we had a guy that lived in Dallas that said, he watched, all the Stars games, and he nixed that.
Right. Yeah. So
there's a question for you. What? From the Stupid Seal. Jaws, do you see Steve's tweet? He lost to Uyghur, Huberdeau, and Tkachuk in one trade.
No.
I don't know what that.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what that means. But I didn't see. I saw some. All I had a chance to do was check out my notifications. Soylent, yeah, White is the missing top 6 winger. That's the assumption. And I'm not saying he can't. I'm just saying it reminds me of all the other years where we penciled in somebody and crossed our fingers and said, that's the guy.
Balsers.
Yeah.
Buck Monkey, right on. Yeah. Don't know much about that guy. I'm sorry, but a lot of people were mentioning that last night. And there's also a guy, and I don't know if it's Balsers, that I guess was one of the top guys in the Finnish league to play with Barkov.
Right.
Balsers, I think, is going to be a huge hidden gem. Daniel Espinosa.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of...
again. Balsers played with Meyer and Herder with the Sharks.
Right.
We have $15.8 million for next year. That's what Zito can do when he has money to spend.
Jeez.
Oh, let's see what he can do.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I was saying, and I think let's see said something about Dumba 3.8 mil. So
Well, I wouldn't want to. I mean, right now, I think I'm good with seeing how Forsling does up top with Ekblad, and then
if Maurice does that, which he should.
and again, we don't always know what they're thinking. For all we know, they might be thinking that Carlson can plug in at on the second pair with Montour. You know what I mean? Yeah, I liked his game, right? And so we'll have to see. I don't think we re-signed Lindbaum though. I don't think he made the team. But now now obviously we have some space if we needed to bring in a guy.
The other kid from Finland is another Anton
Yeah,
Letsby. Yeah,
left. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people talking about him. I don't know anything about him other than everybody says that he's a guy that should be worthy of the top line. So we'll see how that goes.
somebody's going to step up in training camp,
Sure.
and we I mean, who would have called Marchman having a amazing season?
Well, you did. You
He
did.
can, yeah.
You did.
No, I'm just saying.
But you did.
Even if I did, most people were like Marchman, who, But given
Right.
given the opportunity, you
Right.
just never know with players. So
Right.
I just think again, my main, and it's not a concern, but my main objective, if I'm Paul Maurice, is to get the team playing more like a playoff team, not worried about scoring goals. It's defense. That defense and goaltending and special teams is what you need in the playoffs.
Right.
So that's what I'm hoping to see next season. I mean, scoring 322 goals was really exciting. Getting 4 or 5 goals a night. But the bottom line is, we didn't get that production in the playoffs, and we got swept. We almost lost to the Capitals.
Right.
If not for Superman for Hagen,
Yeah, if it wasn't, yeah,
we
exactly.
would have been gone in the first round.
Yep. I'm trying to look at the chat here.
Denisenko going to be that right wing with Barkov. All right, maybe, but why didn't he do that when he's been up?
If he can stay healthy,
Yeah.
that's the thing with Denisenko. If he can stay healthy, but he's running out of time. Let's just put it that way. I would not be surprised if Zito said Heponemi, Denisenko, and Calgary said no, we want Schwint. They said as long as you're listening to the guy who plays with the puppets, he likes Schwint, so that's who we want.
So I got a couple of people here that are posting Klingberg stats. One guy said he was minus 34. SoFlo Sports is saying he was minus 28. Anyway, 28, 34, what's the difference?
Right.
And again, to me, stats, they're great to look at. But when you come down to it,
I just want a guy that's going to stay with his man with 3.8 seconds left in game 2. That's it. Just give me that guy. I don't care how many goals he scores. I don't care about any of that crap. We can make the playoffs with this team. Now, we're a playoff team. We're in. Just give me the guys that are going to make the right plays in the right moments, because that's all it is. That's all it is. I mean, Stu and I, you've talked about it. Colorado won a cup. Okay, they win the cup. But you know why they won a cup? Why did Colorado win a cup? Because I forget which game it was. I forget which series it was, even though I did reviews. It was because Nathan McKinnon decided, with however many seconds left, like 30 seconds left, he decided, I think I'm going to take this puck from one end of the ice all the way to the other and score. And
that's what leaders do.
And even though technically I understand somebody used to say they lost that game, I get it. But that's the mentality. You have to have the players to make the right play at the right time. And I've been saying it for a couple of years, and I get a lot of crap for it. All the years after the playoffs, I say, I don't know if Huberdeau and Barkov are the guys. I don't know if these are the guys. I don't know if these are the guys.
Yep.
Everybody tells me I'm crazy, and that might still be true. That's fine. But if the sweep was just too much, that was just too much to go out that way. And
we talked about the team we had, the year before last,
right,
when we didn't have as good a talent.
No, nothing close.
And we really brought it. That was Tampa's toughest series on the way to the Cup. So we didn't have any fire that I expected us to have, especially squeaking by the Capitals.
Yeah.
Puck monkey, Sign Yager.
Oh man. Well, it's going to be interesting to see what ends up happening. If I'm Paul Maurice this morning, I guess somebody's going to get him in for an interview. It ain't going to be us. What Soflo is saying, I'm right. Do we have that guy with Tkachuk? Maybe, but who knows? But we have Reinhart. Verhaeghe, exactly.
SoFlo Sports. It could be Bennett again. Lexi said that Bennett was scoring 1.9 points a night when he played with Tkachuk. So, again, we'll have to see. It's going to come down to chemistry. Don't count out Tkachuk playing on the top line with Barkov.
Nope, do not. Absolutely not.
He might be at a position from his normal, spot. But.
Well, it's interesting because remember we got Duke coming back. So, if Maurice is trying to build chemistry, you kind of want to have wherever. How can I put this? Wherever Tkachuk is, he's going to want him to be staying there when Duke comes back. Because now, Duclair, you don't have to be hurt the whole season. Now you only have to be hurt half the season. Hurry up, get back. We need you. Oh, by the way, Tim, he's probably still asleep. One best, he's probably still asleep. He's in New Mexico, so he's a few hours behind us. He'll wake up. So, yeah, like you're saying, Stu, don't be surprised to see him on the top line because then they may just want to go straight with Bennett and Duke and whoever is on, who's on the other wing. It's going to be interesting to see because, it's going to start one way. And if one of these kids, if people are thinking Colin White's the guy, well, if White's the guy and he comes in and plays well, we'll have to make room for him. But I'm thrilled in the sense that I didn't have to set my entire house on fire because they traded Lundell. Because with that, with that we gave up, you damn sure Skippy Calgary was like, how about that kid Anton Lundell? Okay.
Yeah, they talked about that of course everybody wants Lundell and Lundell is untouchable.
Yeah. No.
Which he should be.
Yeah, absolutely. You don't that's you just can't. He gives us too many options, Hey, Hot Take Hockey, how you doing, John? We're feeling it. We're good. We're good here.
Flow Sports. I didn't even think about Bennett. One of the main reasons Bennett broke out with us is because of Huberdeau's playmaking ability. Well, I got news for you. Lundell has that playmaking ability. So maybe you put Lundell. How about Lundell, Bennett, and Reinhart together?
Jeez. Good luck to the rest of the league. Right? Yeah, John. Wow is wow. You're not kidding. John, I don't know if you saw the video I put out earlier, but 2 days ago, I literally called this exact trade. Like literally.
Yeah, go watch that video,
Yeah,
guys.
I mean,
It's
like
a few minutes. What's
like
the thumbnail?
the thumbnail is me with the look on my face, like like that. Yeah.
What's its title so people can search
I
for
think
it?
I said it's the Florida Panthers Huberdeau Uyghur Tkachuk trade 7 a.m. reaction, something like that, something like that. John, man, I'm still geeking out. Stu was up at 2 in the morning. I was asleep. Stu texted me at 2 in the morning. I wake up and I spent about 10 minutes, maybe not 10, but a good 2 minutes thinking that everybody in the NHL had created a spoof page specifically just to troll me, because I'm thinking there's no way. This is exactly what I just said. And they did it. And I still can't believe it. I'm going to be playing that clip at my funeral. I want that clip played. If he got nothing else right, this is he got this right. So,
Well, we definitely called the Uyghur trade.
yeah.
That is totally, not unexpected.
No, you kind of
We
had to know.
weren't going to pay him the big bucks.
No, you kind of had to
You
know.
know, Huberdeau's a bit of a shock, but it makes sense.
It does.
That's the thing.
Right.
This deal makes sense.
Right. And look, that's the thing. That's the thing that, my uncle taught me how to watch football and how to be a fan and remain somewhat. You can be all emotional and all connected about it, but you have to have this piece of your brain that stays disconnected where you're realistic about things. And we get to, we draft these kids and we watch them develop and we love them and they're great. And then what happens with all of these teams? You get these guys that are 36, 37, 38, and they got to get bought out. They got to get moved because when they were 29, 30, they're a career Panther or they're career Penguin or whatever it is. And you sign them to these huge, massive deals and at that point, at 30, you're really paying for the player that they were.
Yeah.
At that point, you might get another year or two of that $8-9 million worth, but at some point, you're paying for the player they were, and there's an emotional part there. And that's the part that, like a general manager or as a coach, has to be able to say, I love you, kid, but you're not a kid anymore. And I think thank you for your best years, but this guy over here is 5-6 years younger than you, and I think he's going to be better than you. Sorry.
Trace Sarver, Knight and Lundell are untouchable.
Yes.
That's one thing that we haven't mentioned yet, because we talked about in the video, we're going to need money for Knight, and
Right.
now we have it.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Yep. No,
I
this
don't know if he's going to get that bridge deal, but Knight's going to get at least $5 million.
I don't think he's going to get that. I don't think he's going to get. I mean, he hasn't played enough. I'm going by what Vasilevsky got. He had his ELC, and then he had a bridge deal that wasn't a ton of money. Somebody looked that up. I think the bridge deal for Vasilevsky was 2 years, a couple million a year maybe, and then he got the big deal. But they made him play to prove that, to prove it. But they were in a little bit of a different situation, obviously. They could just shove Bishop aside. So, Puck, yeah, the Panthers extended their window. Exactly, Puck. Puck Monkey's dead on it. So I don't know. I think you're gonna give Knight, because remember we have the thing with Bob. You got Bob this year, next year, and then after that no move clause is modified. So I think it was Tim that brought that up, or there was somebody that brought that up. I'm getting the name wrong. I know it was somebody that brought it up that I should give him credit, but I'm not, and I apologize.
Buffalo Sports, George, give me some credit for commenting trade Huberdeau on every video for about a month. Definitely foresaw it happening for a long time.
Yep. No, absolutely. Absolutely 100%, bro. You just kept saying it. You willed it into existence, and I molded it. I gave it life. You put Frankenstein on the table, and and now look,
Fuck
man,
monkey.
he's alive.
Fuck monkey. Vassy was 3 at 3.5.
Okay, right. Okay, thank you. So yeah, it wasn't. I think that's what we'll probably look at with Knight, because he can't go anywhere, right? So you don't need to overpay him, and he's not going to get full-time minutes unless unless we do something with Bobrovsky, which at this point now there's really no need to do anything with Bob for a couple of years, unless somebody's, nobody's going to make like some crazy offer. So if this team can be as good as it was on defense last year, and
or better,
but even just as good, and fix whatever the hell happens to this team when we get to the playoffs. And that's really the biggest thing, because how many years now? I mean, remember, Huberdeau was here. He was here.
he
wasn't here for the Devils.
That Devils
Was he?
series.
I always go back and forth. I forget that if he was or he wasn't on that. I think it was the following year. But
Okay.
even past that,
But all right, so let's just talk about the Islanders.
the Islanders, and then the
and
Islanders.
the 2 Tampa series.
And yeah, it's been 4 times now, right? And we keep waiting. We keep waiting to see. And I know, look, there's other teams that have said, we said the same thing about Stamkos. We said the same thing about Ovechkin. Okay, I can hear some of that. Some of that I can hear. I think with Huberdeau especially, I think if he was gonna, he woulda. And maybe by doing this with Huberdeau, maybe we wake Barkov up. Maybe Barkov wakes up this morning and says, I don't like the weather in Calgary. Well, you guys want somebody to be mean? Okay, I'll be mean. Who knows? Maybe this wakes
Puck
Barkov up.
Monkey says Huberdeau wasn't in the Devil series. Yeah, but
Right.
you're right, and it goes back to my point that if
Yeah.
they could trade Huberdeau, they could trade anybody. So
Yeah. No, absolutely. So
and you're right. Maybe Barkov needed this type of kick in the butt.
That'll do it, right? That'll do it. I can't believe this happened.
Yeah.
I
Well,
said it.
Tkachuk wanted out of Calgary, so
Right.
that's what it comes down to.
Right. Poor Stu's melting out here.
Yeah, it's really humid. Sorry, guys.
That's okay. We won't keep you guys too much longer. So I had said with the moves that we had made that we were a wild card team. We were a third place, a wild card team. I'm gonna go out on a crazy limb right now and say that we're back in the game. And here's why. I'm not looking at the players on paper. I'm looking at what the energy in this team is going to be like day one. Because it's exactly what Stu is saying. Those guys are going to hit the ice and be like, this dude Zito, he's cray-cray. He'll trade anybody. And he don't give a F what he's got. He'll trade any of y'all. So you better get your ass in gear. Because, so I have a feeling that combined with now you see the type of player we got. The White, Cousins, some of these guys, they're hyper competitive, right? Maybe they don't have, they got a lot more people. What people are telling me is they got a lot more of the grit, a lot more of the style that we like. Okay, all right, I'm waiting to see it. But if that's the group of guys we got now, and they have a fire under their ass, knowing they got a batshit crazy GM that'll just watch the guy with the puppets and call Calgary up and be like, I was watching this guy with the puppets, and here's what he had to say. And Calgary said yes. I mean,
Yeah, I don't. If the Panthers don't come out game one of
Right.
next season
right,
with a chip on their shoulder and the attitude like we have something to prove,
right,
I'll be extremely surprised.
right. No, I think, and now, the Maurice hiring looks so much better because to try to make a deal like this and then have Brunette go out there and sell it to the guys, I think it falls on deaf ears. I think because you already you already brought in Maurice, so you already kind of got this new, you're going to have this new energy that he's going to be bringing. And now he's got the receipts to sell it. You know what I mean? He's like, look, none of y'all are special. All right? All I got to do is tell Bill, make a deal. You're gone. Okay? We've proven that. So get your shit together.
Hey, Frank.
Is
Frank,
Frank in the house?
I drank last night. I don't know if it was for better or for worse. Soylent Green. I remember that movie. Soylent Green is people. They still need another lefty. Absolutely. We talked about that.
So,
Uyghur played at times plus 25 minutes. Gudis ain't going to play that much. Yeah, that's why Soylent Green, I don't know if you were on earlier, I was talking about the possibility of getting Matt Dumba from the Wild.
So Jason C is asking, can we talk about Uyghur? Can he help the Flames? I'm not sure. Well, his style of play might translate to the Western Conference a little bit better than the East. Here's what you're going to get with Uyghur. You're going to get a couple of things. You're going to get fans that love him, fans that hate him. You're going to watch him for 2 games and you're going to think, this guy's good. This guy's really, hey, we got somebody. And then in the 3rd game, he's going to make 2 of the dumbest mistakes you've ever seen in your life that are going to make you lose your hair. Rinse and repeat. Unless somebody fixes him. Thank you, Frank. I see that. Thank you, bud. I'll read that in a second. Unless somebody fixes him and has him focus on defense only, he has the offensive ability. And when he focuses just on defense, he's got the defensive ability. He doesn't get beat one-on-one a ton. What he does is make stupid mistakes when he has the puck on his stick.
Right.
That's the biggest thing. If he gets the puck behind his own net, just close your eyes. Because there's a 50-50 chance it's going to be in your net really soon.
Close your eyes and pray.
Close your eyes and pray. Exactly. Yeah. No, what did Frank have to say? I want to get back to this because Frank
said something about Toronto should have done what we did.
Send
a message to the locker room. Perform in the playoffs or F off. Puck off. I agree.
I'm trying to get back to Frank here. It's going too fast.
Here's another one. Holy
did
shit, Jaws. 163 people here. Hey, thanks for joining us. I didn't know there were many people. So obviously we're reading the comments. We definitely want to know what you guys have to say.
Yeah, we're missing some.
Florida wants to win. They got rid of the dead wood. You got a young Tkachuk with all the goods. Got rid of Hubie and a Deadwood D-man and left them with a first round what's in the box.
Oh, man. Sal says, fix the goaltending and we're almost there. I mean, look, Bob was fine last year.
Yeah, Bob can't blame it on Bob last year.
No. And look, you're looking at the 2 guys to be the first ones to blame it on Bob. Okay? 1 and 2. One and A. Believe me. Bob wasn't the issue at all, not in the playoffs. Now nobody would cry here if we suddenly moved Bob and had Spencer Knight in net. But we don't need to do anything stupid now.
And don't forget a lot of goals that were scored on Bob. Bob was left
the one with 3.8 seconds left.
He was left twisting in the wind. I mean, Some of them maybe he could have had, but there were plenty of goals where he had no chance,
No, I
and that
watched
was
the
because of defensive
yeah
mistakes.
watching the Western Conference playoffs. I watched almost all the games in the last two rounds. Bobrovsky played plenty well to win a cup. Okay, comparatively. Yeah. So,
Oh, Eric, we got a guy by the name of Smoking.
uh huh.
Maybe he's a Calgary fan. Matthew is good. Sad to see him leave here, but thanks for the new team. So I'm going to put a question out to you, Mr. Smoking. Where do you see Uyghur, and what do you think he's going to do for Calgary?
I'm reading Jason's comment. He says, so as a Flames fan, Tkachuk is a very good player, excellent around the net, has a little grit and loves the game. He does lack foot speed. What can I tell us about Huberdeau? Huberdeau, he's as advertised. He is as advertised.
Best passer in the league.
Best passer in the league. Unfortunately, he's so good. He's so good that
He doesn't shoot.
he doesn't shoot as often as he should. And what will happen with Huberdeau, if you put Huberdeau on the power play, this is what's going to happen. He's going to get this. He's going to get the puck off to the left point, okay, in the circle area, and the goalie and the defenseman are going to cheat because they know he's going to pass and not take the shot. If he takes the shot, he scores because the goalies are going to cheat over to the other side because they know he's going to try some fancy schmancy pass that does 7 out of 10 times connect to the other player, but the goalies will make the save because they've been cheating. So if somebody could get, maybe this will convince them, maybe you need to shoot the puck a little bit more, Johnny. I don't know. Up until last season, what I can tell you what you're going to get with Huberdeau is a guy that goes in streaks where he looks great, and then he'll have 4 or 5 games where he just emotionally, mentally, and physically just disappears and leaves you wondering, did his dog die? Did his wife leave? What happened? But now last year during the season, that's a good look for Stu, by the way. Last year during the season, he showed us he can play an entire season at an elite level. And then the playoffs came, and he did not raise his level of play, and he did not pass. He did not shoot. He did not shoot. He's not taking the shots. So,
Yeah, don't forget, Uyghur is going to a team coached by Daryl Sutter. So if anybody can fix him, it's Sutter. Yeah, Trey
right.
Sarver. That's why Uyghur is overrated nationally. He's solid in fantasy, and nobody is actually watching Panther games. Yeah, exactly. Like I said, Uyghur's main, his main con is his decisions with the puck.
Yeah.
Like trying to stick handle out of his defensive zone with 3 guys on him. And of course losing the puck and having a goal scored.
Calgary
things
fans.
like that. Blind passes behind the net.
Right.
Not even looking who the pass is going to, resulting in, a guy getting it, thrown in front, and before you know it, bang, bang, it's in the net. So stuff like that.
So Calgary fans, if you look up 2021, 2022 NHL giveaway stats in the top 10, somewhere about 5, 6, 6, 7, whatever it is, you will see Huberdeau, and then you will see Uyghur. They're good players. They're good players, and maybe they can be coached to be better. I'm not so sure about Huberdeau. I think Uyghur still has some room where he could be coached to be a better player. I have a feeling, I don't know how Huberdeau is going to react to this. He's an emotional guy, but a lot of times he wears those emotions as disappointment. You've all seen him with his head hung after the playoff series. He didn't do that this year. This year, it was a different kid. It was a different kid. So
I
Jimmy,
like this comment by Tim. Hoobie's Lambo will get little use this year. Also,
yeah,
also no Tootsies. Yeah, so now I wonder, anything's possible. Do you think that story now
right,
has more validity?
right,
And that Huberdeau might have been one of the guys.
right. I don't know. I still have a hard time believing that that
Me
happened and
too.
nobody got pictures.
Me
I
too.
mean, no pictures leaving the building. I mean, in
Me
this day,
too.
yeah, yeah. But I think really the who cares in that Instagram post made him expendable. Somebody said here, Jimmy Kimball is dead. Says Florida got fleeced. Um, this is a this is. I'm not being
I
sarcastic.
disagree with you.
Yeah. What team are you a fan of? What like what team do you watch every night? That's a genuine
I
question.
think
I'm not trying to be a
Kachuk,
dick.
I think Tkachuk had 42 goals last year, had
Yeah.
94 points. He finished
Yeah.
in the top five.
Jake's in the
And
house.
he's 24 years old. So in the next 3 years, okay, 25, 26, 27, he's going into his peak years. And again, if he plays with the right people, can only get better.
So Jason, you're asking me about Cole Swint. I made a video a couple of weeks ago, predicting which young Panther players were going to make the roster. And by the research that I did, in my opinion, you got a good one in Schwint. I like the kid. I watched him in development camp. I didn't watch him play in the AHL, but based on what I saw, I thought he had a decent chance of making the roster. So I'm happy
Eric,
with
look,
I'm happy with the deal, but I would have.
Eric,
Go ahead.
oh no, I'm looking at Dante Memolo, if I'm pronouncing that right.
Yeah.
He says Tkachuk had 106 points and 51 goals. I didn't know he scored 51 goals.
I
don't
thought it was
think so.
42.
And yeah, that's what I thought. And then Cuban Casanova says, when they don't re-sign them, we will be laughing. And that's, you didn't hear anything
Right.
about either one of those guys re-signing like they did with Tkachuk. They announced it right away that Tkachuk signed a new deal, 8 years at 9.5. So again, I still say Huberdeau's going home to Montreal. People are saying that Uyghur's going home to Ottawa, so we'll see. Yeah, Dante, 42 goals, 104 points. I thought it was 94 points.
Right.
Who cares? Whatever.
Yeah. Either way, we got a good player. Right.
Yeah, we got a really good player.
Somebody said, Jason, you're asking, is Cole more like a third line center in the NHL? It's hard to say for us because these kids haven't had an opportunity. They don't get a lot of opportunities to come up and even show us 5 games here, 8 games here. It's hard to say. I seem to be one of the main guys that was excited about him. Think Jared McCann. Think. I mean, you got a decent prospect. He's certainly somebody that if he develops properly, is the top 9, could fit in your top, second line if he had to, and give you good solid minutes if he continues to develop. Yeah, my opinion.
Mega Matt and Zito we trust. Daryl
Right.
H. Both Uyghur and Huberdeau would be wanting close to 18 mil, correct? Or 7 for Uyghur, or be UFAs next year, and we don't get anything for them. And Uyghur needed to go no matter what. Absolutely.
Right.
Oh,
Eric says you
Tkachuk
could have
wants
traded.
that no state tax.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. Eric says he could have traded Uyghur for a Wawa hoagie.
Cuban Casanova. Hopefully, this doesn't become a Chris Wells situation. I don't think.
Oh
it will.
no. Chris Wells couldn't skate, and we knew it day one. I still remember listening to Neil Rogers just absolutely screaming, "He can't skate. He can't." The Chris Wells that was stupid. Stu Barnes
Very
was the
stupid.
heart of that team.
Eric, tactical nook makes a good point.
Okay.
This trade ensures that the Panthers don't have cap issues and can remain contenders for the next few years.
Bingo.
Well,
Yeah.
they get to sign Knight for sure,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then I don't know who's coming up next for re-signing. Ekblad's contract is winding down.
No, we're good on that, but we Gudis. I think all that stuff now is Knight, Gudis. I mean, obviously, if we wanted to extend Hornquist, we could, right? But now at least we don't have to worry about getting rid of him. So there's not nearly as much left as.
Okay, so now I'm going to ask the chat room here to post some comments. What about Hornquist? Now, I've been very vocal about Hornquist and what he means to the team, not so much on the ice, but in the locker room and the leadership. How much gas does he have in the tank? Well, I don't think he was used properly in the playoffs. I think he should have been, he's our power play guy. He's the guy that is in front, taking abuse, but tipping shots in, getting rebounds and whatnot. If he can, play that role, then, I keep him. But I keep him at least, obviously, he's got one more year. But I really like Hornquist for what he brings to the team in the locker room and, off the ice. He's a leader, and we need leaders.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's a good
Gators
point.
rock. Time for Horn to go at 5.5. All right. Listen, maybe we get him for less on his next contract.
Oh yeah, yeah.
If we decide to keep him.
Right. And if not, it just adds. I mean, we've got cap space to do whatever we're going to need next year or the year after. But now I'm a lot more excited about this season now.
Yep.
Because, I said it a couple of times. I said it that because a couple of people have said in the recent videos I think it was David Brown. A couple of people said I was being too negative, and my basic reply was that my confidence in Huberdeau and Barkov to be the guys really took a hit. Really took a hit with that sweep and the who cares and the Instagram post by Huberdeau afterwards. Now, Barkov is who he is, and we've always known that we're going to have a surrounding cast around him. And I mean, if either one of these kids, White or Cousins, if either one of those kids makes up for Mason Marchment, we're better. We're better.
Yep.
We're better on paper than last year.
Agreed.
And now we get to, at least we can go, if we go to the playoffs next year, but I'm not saying if, I am saying if, you know what I mean. We'll be able to see it.
It's like 90% humidity down here, so
yeah,
I rarely sweat like this when
Thank
we're
you,
doing
Frank.
the videos. Guys, Frank, another super chat.
Thank you, sir.
Guys, can we accept that? Can we accept that we a bit sad because I understand. I don't know, Frankie. The grammar's really good there, but I understand why the trade was made. Yeah, of course we're sad. I mean, Huberdeau's in the top couple of players, fan favorites, but
I'm still waiting.
It's business. It's nothing personal.
I'm still waiting
That's
to get
that's my answer. Well, what's going to make the team better?
I'm trying to get a hold of Matthias because I'm going to call him and see if I can get him on the phone.
MG host, our biggest loss to replace is Marchment. A healthy Marchment. My worry with Marchment is one more hit and he's done. That's a player that's been injured too much, but yeah, that Lundell, Reinhardt, Marchment line was deadly.
Matthias,
if we can find a left wing,
hold on a second,
Lundell
buddy.
and Reinhardt, that's going to be a really, really important line for us.
Hello, Dad.
All right, so Matthias, listen to me. We're doing a live stream right now, and I have the phone up next to the microphone. Are you ready? I have to tell you something.
What you say?
We're doing a live stream right now. You're live on YouTube, and I have to tell you something. Are you ready to hear it?
What?
The Panthers traded Huberdeau and Uyghur away.
They trying.
They traded Huberdeau and Uyghur for a new guy named Tkachuk, who's better and younger than Huberdeau.
He traded Huberdeau.
Yeah. That's it. He's dead.
What?
What?
The Panthers traded Huberdeau and Uyghur.
Yeah, it happened last night at like 2 a.m. or something. And
How come they did that?
because they wanted too much money. So we had to get other players.
So now the Panthers are greedy for money?
Well, that's what happens because we paid Bobrovsky $10 million. There's only so much money to go around.
Wow. What did they... Oh, Eric Ekblad.
No. All right, I'm gonna let Stu can go back to talking. I'll talk to you for a second, buddy. Go ahead, Stu.
Jim the Swede, massive Cats fan from Sweden, just saying hi. Hey, Jim.
All right. Yeah, I just wanted to tell you real quick that's
Jim,
what happened.
what do you
We're
think
in the
about the
middle of
trade
live stream
over
right
there
now.
in Sweden? I'm sure it's made the front page of the sports section over there. Gurkaran, Florida got fleeced. I disagree with you. Hooby Dooby Doo, where are you? Or in Calgary now? No, Brandon, Huberdeau's still on the lake enjoying his summer. Although I did see an Instagram post that he made where he's in the gym, doing his workout. Brian Lopez, we need him this year, especially since we lost Marchment. I felt like Marchment was being molded into that style and was never going to be him, but he could have done an okay job. We need Hornquist. I agree, Brian. Frank, I'm not concerned about our defense. I don't know if concern is the word I'm going to use. I just want to see what Maurice does as far as the system that he puts in place. We definitely need to put a playoff type of team system, not the run and gun system where we score 322 goals in the regular season and basically nothing in the playoffs. Gurkinen again, bro, I'd rather have Huberdeau over Tkachuk, let alone including Uyghur. Okay, listen, everybody's entitled to their opinion. The main thing for me right now is the fact that Huberdeau did not show up in any of the playoff series. And attitude, look what happened to Tkachuk. Tkachuk's attitude at some point in time changed, and he was gone. Anthony Manzano, Stu, I can understand the trade. Matthew Tkachuk is bigger and more physical player. Huberdeau tends to be more finesse. I'm okay with the trade. Exactly. That's what you get with Tkachuk over Huberdeau, and that's his grit. He's not afraid to mix it up. I just want to see where Tkachuk slots in our lineup. There's Daniel's reply, Gurkinen, we didn't get fleeced at all. I'm sure you're looking at this as a typical NHL fans as see names going to and from both teams, but we got the upper hand in the long term. The main thing, guys, is the money. We didn't have enough money to go around, and that's why we lost Giroux and Sherratt and Marchment. That's why we got rid of Vetrano. We would just, that Bob trade really put handcuffs on us. So, freeing up some money is a good thing. Daryl H. I like Gudis. He's a solid defenseman, tough, and makes very good neutral zone and entry passes on the ice with Barkov. I love Gudis. I love Gudis because teams are not going to take liberties with a guy like Barkov with Gudis on the ice. Mike C. This was an excellent move for long term, getting a player in their prime instead of an aging player, which we may regret in 3 years. I agree, especially with Huberdeau wanting at least $10 million. That's going to take him to be 38. So, yeah, Daniel Tkachuk wasn't the same after his ankle injury. Yeah, injuries play a big part. Steven, I'm going to give the trade a chance. Losing Huberdeau hurts bad, but I'm hoping the haters are proven wrong. Listen, guys, I think we're coming at it from emotion and sentimentality. I mean, we love Huberdeau. I mean, what Panther fan doesn't love Huberdeau? But again, it's a business. And, for those that, loved Huberdeau, that, he was their favorite player. Listen, I have a feeling if Tkachuk does what we all hope that he's going to do, he's going to become a fan favorite.
I got to get rid of the
Stu Barnes.
yeah, the cereal box. I just realized it. The Hubie snacks. I'm gonna. That'll be for sale on eBay by the end of the day.
Yeah, Cuban Casanova. I am sweating. It's like really humid. I rarely sweat right, Eric? I rarely sweat like this, but I'm just dripping, man. Sorry.
Right. No, it's okay.
Ugh.
Matthias is in the chat. I'm not quite sure. I think Matthias has lost his mind.
Chuck's offense was driven by Johnny Hockey, so you need to slot him with similar player. Well, Chris, I think that player is Bennett.
Yeah. I agree. All
right, so you can take Jim the Sweeter.
Yeah, he says, honestly, I think it's a great trade. You locked up a superstar for 9 years for a somewhat reasonable cap hit. Exactly. Sure, we lost Hugh, but we might walk out of Calgary after this year. He might walk out of Calgary, and Weeks was overrated. Yeah. Medicated jaws for jam. The video I put out this morning has 1,000 views already. I love it. That's good. That's good news. The last few hadn't. It's been a while. Yeah, and locking them up like that is the best part of this, and that's the flip side. Is Calgary? There's no guarantee, right? Calgary could get out of this. All they could out of this is a first and Schwint, if Uyghur and Huber don't like things. Don't you know what I mean?
One bad Steve. Hey Steve, I'm not sad for losing Hubo. We lost our best player, Uyghur. No comment.
Right. All right, let me do something here.
$165 people, Eric.
I know. I'm trying to take care of something here.
Yeah, George, excellent point. Let's get 100 likes on this stream. I don't know what we only have 39 likes, guys. Everybody hit the like button. I want to just see that number, just like the algorithm hit. Let's get 100 likes. Let's get 50 likes right now.
Where we at? We're at 39. Yeah, we'll get it to 50. We'll get it to 50.
Calgary got 2 rentals, and we have a solid point per night player. I don't see any fleecing that people are talking about. Calgary couldn't even sign their own players. Excellent point. Again, I think Huberdeau's going to Montreal, guys. All right, we got 48 likes.
All right,
thanks, guys.
There's 50.
Yeah, let's get it up to 75 now. Everybody hit the like button. Look, 53. Yeah, let the algorithm kick in. Dominic, Calgary may trade them both by the deadline for draft picks. I agree. Don't forget, Huberto is going to want at least $10 million.
Right. Let's see. So,
It's-
John, a hot take says, are you guys thinking starting Verhaeghe, Barkov, Reinhardt, then Tkachuk with Bennett and White to start until Declare comes back? I'm not sure about that, but because Lundell has mad chemistry with Reinhardt. So,
Yeah, I don't. Again, look at the pairings:
right.
Verhaeghe, Barkov,
Right.
Reinhardt, Lundell,
No.
Bennett,
yeah.
Tkachuk.
And Bennett and Tkachuk. Right.
I think when Duclair comes back, he goes back up with Barkov.
Right. But now what he's asking is like, when with Duke is gone to start the season, he is right that we have that hole to fill somewhere there.
If you remember,
Right.
Reinhardt and that Reinhardt didn't mesh too well chemistry wise with Barkov and Verhaeghe.
No.
They tried that experiment.
Yeah.
Hey, we got 63 likes. Keep it going, guys.
Yeah. If anything, John, we probably might get Tkachuk on the first line, but we're gonna have to see how. We're gonna
Hey,
see
Eric,
Yeah.
put the Uyghur jersey on.
All right.
Yeah, Eric, go take a second and put the
Yeah,
Uyghur.
let me
It's
go
probably
get
the
it.
last time
Let me
you're
go
gonna
get it.
wear it.
Stay there, Bubby. Stay there.
Are people keeping their Hoobie jerseys to sell or selling them? I don't think Zito's done. Cuban, I agree with you. I still think either Zito's gonna try and get a left winger for Barkov, or he's gonna get another defenseman. Which again, I was thinking maybe Matt Dumba from Minnesota. Frank, another super chat. Thanks, bud. So next year we will have around 15 million in cap space, and with possibly 2 million more for the total cap going up. Do we sign depth guys or go after a top D? Well, that's what I just said. I think we go after a top D. You got Lucas Carlson, you got Lindbaum, you got Kerstead. I'm slotting Mark Stahl to be one of the top six. So who's going to be that sixth defenseman? That's a big question mark. I think if there is a trade, I think that that Carlson and Lindbaum are, hey, Jaws, wearing the Uyghur. That's the last time we're going to see him wear that jersey. All right, we're up to 67 likes. Let's get it up to 75, guys. There's 161 people watching this stream.
Kyle Wagner says, call me crazy. What if we put Bennett, Tkachuk, and Lomberg on the same line? I wouldn't want to play against that line. And there's be injuries during the season. I guarantee at some point during the season, that'll happen. Right?
Joe C., do you think any other trades will happen? I guess you just joined, Joe. Yes. I don't think Zito's done. And now he's got the money to do something with.
Right.
Hot take hockey. Then you might have to get creative. Verhaeghe, Barkov, Balsers, Tkachuk, Bennett, White, Cousins, Lundell, Reinhardt.
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
The big thing for me is who's going to be that left wing for Lundell and Reinhardt. Obviously, we have that same problem with Barkov. So that's up to Maurice, and that's up to the guys, in training camp. Who's going to step up?
Right.
And who's going to come out of training camp as the guy? I think Marchment was one of those guys last year. Who would have ever thought that Marchment was going to get 18 goals and how many other points? Chucky is the perfect winger for Barkov. Doomed and confused. Let's see what happens chemistry-wise. Like I said, I wouldn't be surprised to see Tkachuk on the top line. It's all a question of how he's going to fit in with Barkov and Verhaeghe.
I missed something up top here. Oh,
Daryl H. I can't wait to watch Barkov deke around Uyghur as he falls on his face and scores a backhanded goal. Yeah, that's gonna be fun.
Frank with another fiver. I think we missed this one, or I missed it. It's my fault. So thank you, Frank, and thank you, John, for letting me know. He says so. Next year we'll have around 15 million in cap space.
Yeah, I read that.
Oh, okay. Was there another one that I had missed?
Hey, thanks, guys. We're up to 71 likes. Appreciate it. So here we got Jorge Barreto, Verhaeghe, Barkov, Duclair. Well, not for the beginning of the season, at least. Then Tkachuk, Bennett, Reinhardt from Balsers, Lundell, White, then Lundberg. Jorge, I think that Lundell and Reinhardt are a pair. I don't think they're going to be split. Lindbaum was not re-signed.
Right.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Bennett with Tkachuk. Yes, that's a good possibility, Jeremy.
Ooh, the Groove and Grit show says Lundell to be the second line center with Tkachuk and Reinhardt.
Possible.
I mean, anything's possible at this point. If we're trading Huberdeau away, I mean,
who made that comment?
That was Groove and Grit show. I like it.
All right. So what do you do with Bennett?
Bennett, Cousins, and Lomberg. I mean, just an absolute beast of a line. You never know.
Frank's,
Look, with Maurice is a different guy, right? We don't know what his take on things, and obviously, with us trading guys like Huberdeau, we're going by what we had last year and what is in our mind. Who knows what's in Maurice's mind, right?
Frank, this kid Balsers is going to be the surprise this year. Everyone is talking good things about him. Yeah, I don't know much about him, to be honest with you, but I'm hearing that his hot take hockey. Yes, Frank. Balsers definitely has some untapped potential. All right, I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, no, I'm good with that. I mean, look, that's how we were when we got Verhaeghe. We didn't know anything, and when we gave up
that's what Daniel Espinosa says, just that. I think Balsers is going to turn out to be another Verhaeghe.
Yeah. Look, we might end up being, I mean, Zito, we've been saying it and saying it and saying it. Trust in Zito, trust in Zito.
Absolutely. And look how many good moves he's made.
The lucky thing for us, if this all works out, I mean, let's just start at the beginning. Tkachuk had to tell Calgary, yeah, thanks, but no thanks. I'm not re-signing, right?
Yep.
And I mean, they could have. We got lucky in a sense because it's not often a player like him becomes available, right? And then he just so happens to put us on the list of the few teams that he's willing to go to. And I had said this in a tweet. I hadn't seen anybody else say this. From Calgary's point of view, when I saw that list, the first thing I saw was the Panthers were the only team out of conference that he was willing to go to. And everybody saw he's going to go to the Blues, he's going to go here. But I'm thinking, if Calgary is going to trade a guy like that, the first thing you're going to do is can I get him out of the conference? Right? That's usually the way it's going to work. So I'm not as surprised that we made it happen. I'm still geeking out that I called the players, but if you was ever going to get rid of trade a guy like Huberdeau, this is the only way it could happen. And I think it tells us pretty much also that he was pretty much sold on Uyghur was not. They must not have been close.
I like this comment by Mike C. I also think in training camp we'll be surprised how well Colin White and Balsers will play. Another small signing like Forsling that we can really unlock their next level. Yeah, like I said, Zito found Verhaeghe. Zito found Forsling.
Right.
He picks up Duclair for a ham sandwich.
Sure.
He's just made a lot of good moves.
Right.
So I trust the guy. Oh, we're up to 77 likes.
Yeah,
Thanks,
we're good.
guys.
This is good. Thank you, guys. Groove and Grit. Bennett to the third line with Cousins and Balsers or Lomberg, the gritty goon line. I mean, that's a rough line to play against. No doubt. And look, eventually Lundell's going to. I don't know if he's ready yet because he tailed off. You know, he got hurt and wasn't
Daniel
quite.
Espinoza, Tkachuk, Bennett, Lundberg, the Flames line.
Tkachuk.
Yeah, Cuban Casanova, let's get 100 likes. I'm
Yeah.
with you, bro.
Yeah, let's go, guys. Let's go. Let's do
Everybody that hasn't liked, if you don't mind, what's the big deal? Just hit the like button.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, let's get 100. Let's get 100 likes on this sucker.
It's jamming up. It is.
Just
jamming
flew
up, man.
45. Benny, Lundell, Tkachuk, Balsers, Reinhardt, White, Heppo. Yeah, take your pick. What do we
Right.
just put? Just Lou. What do? We put White, Heppo, and Denny. We put their names in a hat and just pick one.
Mike says Jaw's first response to the trade last night was, "Oh my God!" He literally called it. That was my response. I pick up the phone and I see this is 29 messages, and I'm thinking, "Oh, what happened?" So I click Stu's first, and the first thing I see is the NHL.com network. So I click it, and I'm reading it, and I'm sitting there on the stool. Karen's making the coffee, and I'm like, "What? No. This can't be real." And Karen's like, what? And I'm like, this has got to be, is this the Onion? This has got to be a spoof. This can't be real. And sure
Yep.
enough.
Steven Brockman, need a stronger defense to be a real cup contender. I said that earlier. Absolutely.
Frank.
That's again, that's up to Maurice, but we
Right.
definitely need to have playoff type hockey during the regular season is a warm up for the playoffs.
Just to cook.
Obviously, again, scoring 322 goals in the regular season didn't do squat for us in the playoffs. So,
Right. So, Frank,
yes,
thank you,
I
sir.
agree.
Thank you, Frank. How does the locker room feel without Hudo? We talked about that a little bit earlier, and that's something I brought up where signing Maurice now helps because you have the new guy preaching the new energy, because there are going to be players that are going to be waking up pretty upset right now, right? There's at least one player watching this live stream hiding right now. There's at least
Yeah,
one.
Eric, look what Mike C wrote.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw it. So
George Michael, Flames broadcasters practicing his hoobie doobie. Oh my God, I'm sweating. like
Tyler,
crazy.
yeah, if I had
86
predicted the
likes, guys, thanks. Can we get it to 100?
yeah, Tyler,
I want to see 100 likes on this
we're at
video.
86. We're going to get
That
to
would be
100.
awesome.
Yep.
That's if you like what we're doing.
Yeah. And we appreciate everybody coming
Yeah,
out.
appreciate all the comments, guys.
Just Chuck like strip clubs.
Hey,
Punk monkeys.
let's shift gears now and just focus on the defense. I want to
Okay.
hear what you guys think. I want to see some pairings, and
Yeah.
also you can talk about the power play. 90 likes.
90.
We got
We're-
10 more to go, guys.
You know what my call is, and if you don't want to put Gudis on that second pair with Montour, maybe you give Carlson a shot up there, and we have a couple of guys in the minors that could, maybe make the bottom pair. Ekblad Forsling.
I agree, Mike. Ekblad Forsling, with
Barkov,
Forsling being
Ekblad.
the quarterback, and Ekblad in that Ovechkin Stamkos slot for his one-timer.
Right.
Puck Monkey, Barkov, Ekblad. Puck Monkey, expand on that answer.
What you got for me,
Well,
Frank?
look, Carlson is going to get the nod again. Okay, maybe.
So, Frank, thank you, brother. Frank says only Panther fans know why we traded Hubie. The strip club incident and the attitude towards playoffs and towards the end of the playoffs. Right. in the Lightning series and the lack of effort. Yeah,
Yeah, we don't know about the strip club, but at the two Instagram posts that he made, the one who cares, and then the one which was in poor taste that said summer's here, time for fun.
Oh, Daniel Hall says Chase Prisky went to Buffalo.
Oh, yeah?
I did not know that.
I didn't know that either.
I did not know that.
I did not know that either.
Yeah, I think somebody up here agrees with what I was saying. Just Lou 45 says X4s, Gudis, Montour, and Carlson was Stahl, or right.
Yeah, Boondogler. Whatever happened with New Navarra? Well, that. Listen, he's a Panther on paper. That's it.
Yeah,
He played like one or two games. For me, he's just like a forgotten player.
Jake, I understand that. I mean, we know what he meant in terms of the who cares. The Panthers, and Stu will agree with me here, the Panthers are extraordinarily hyper-focused on optics. For the inside of that organization is it's all about how it looks to the outside world. And I know what he meant. You know what he meant. We all kind of know what he meant. But it just sounded so bad. I will be willing to bet the puppets that contributed, that got up into the upper echelons of management.
Yeah, listen,
the
the fact that it was pulled down a couple of hours after our video says a lot. Hey, Frank, you're right. I hope I get my wish. Nothing's etched in stone, but yeah, I've been calling for Ekblad and Forsling forever. That would be awesome. And that would be, in my opinion, a great top pair. Puck Monkey, I think the Panthers should sign Stasny. I don't know, maybe a Stasny 10 years ago, 5 years ago. Daniel Hall, so bummed Chase Prisky went to Buffalo, now without Uyghur. Hey, listen, we got 96 likes, man, 4 to go. Come on,
Steve.
There's got to be four guys or gals out there that can hit that like button.
Come on, Lomberg. I know you're watching. Leave a like. It's One Bad Steve with the $5. Thank you, sir. Much appreciated. Steve says Forsling failed to clear the puck, and that led to the infamous 5-second play against Tampa. I know why you guys want him on the first pair. More content. I'll let Stu answer that.
Steve's busting chops. Listen, Forsling didn't have the greatest playoff. We know that. But
There's 102.
I'm still big on Forsling. I just love that kid. Now, if he could take some, if he becomes a little bit more offensive minded, I predict that, earlier in the video that he could possibly be a 15 goal, maybe even a 20 goal guy. So, AJ89, Stahl, Ekblad, Forsling, Gudis, Carlson, Montour. No. I don't see Mark Stahl being on the top pair.
Just
maybe just switch out Forsling and Stahl. Maybe Stahl and Gudis.
Just
Carlson
Lou
and Montour was not a bad pairing.
Hold on a second, bud. Just Lou has got Elliot Friedman's tweet here. It's saying the deal is $1 million a year in salary and the rest in bonuses. What the hell is this allowed? You're dying laughing. It doesn't matter. The cap hit is the average. I've recently learned this, so it doesn't matter what the salaries, bonuses are. The cap hit is the average value for over the years. So if it's $8 million for 10 years and it's an $80 million contract, doesn't matter if it's $1 million in salaries and $79 in bonuses. The cap hit is the $8 million. So for whatever reason, the Panthers did it that way. I guess Vinny's got some extra cash. He's just going to give them. I don't know how that works, but for the cap hit, it's the same. And I just learned.
Hey
that
guys,
last week,
thanks
too.
a lot. 105 likes,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
now there's 147 people watching. So
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
We
All right, we're
appreciate
done.
that.
We're done. We're good. Oh, I'm gonna
Bring
be
back Jovo Cop.
Yeah, right. Right. So Frank says we need a Steve and Stu debate video. It's going to happen. It's go- If Stu lives through this, because poor Stu, this is I'm going to post another video later on. It's going to be the Florida Panthers diet plan, and it's just going to be clips of Stu schwitzing and sweating.
Yeah. Magnet Man, New York. Stu, come clean. Jaws is really Zito's brother, isn't he? Listen,
I mean, we're both bald with the beard.
it's incredible, okay? It's really incredible how many things have happened after we've posted videos.
Right.
And if you go back and watch the video that Eric made, he called this Huberto trade.
Yeah, and I'm still waiting to get the.
Hey, Eric, Tactical Nook 101, Uyghur jersey giveaway time for the 100 likes. Hey,
Oh man,
what are you going to do with it?
I can't give away a jersey to somebody gave me.
That's true.
That's bad. If I'd have bought this jersey myself, maybe then. And
Hey, listen.
Steve's gonna say, "Don't blame that shit on me."
Hey, Eric, send it to Calgary with a note for Uyghur to sign it and keep it because he's going to make the Hall of Fame.
Oh my God, Frank, thank you, sir. Frank wins the chat. Frank says, "Let's trade Barkov and see how many likes we can get."
Look at this. Breaking news. Calgary Flames fired Daryl Sutter. Andrew Burnett hired.
Andrew Burnett. Hey, Andrew, how you doing? Long time no see, man.
Hey, the K-Real Avs fan dropping in. Hey, buddy.
How you doing, guys? Wow.
So from a Colorado standpoint, what do you think about the trade?
And Dylan says any trade giving up a turnover machine is a good one. Giving up turnover machines is a good one. Yeah, I mean, look, I love Huberto. Don't get me wrong, but they're up there. They're up there in that top 10 in turnovers. You know?
Both of them.
Yeah. And look, Huberto's turnovers are mostly when he's trying to pass the puck too much and he's holding on to it. You know, and that's his bread and butter. I can understand that. Uyghur's turnovers, unfortunately, are mostly in the defensive zone when he's trying to stick handle his way instead of shooting the puck down the ice. That's a different story. All right, guys.
The big thing for me is seeing what Maurice does as far as the power play.
Right.
And again, the power play needs to be quicker, and it needs to be more, instead of hesitation and really not knowing what they need to go into the power play and, you know, keep the defense on their toes. In other words, don't have the same type of setup every time where the defense knows what's coming.
Right.
Anthony Manzano.
Go ahead.
Fluffy, here's one of the reasons why I kind of like the Matthew Tkachuk trade. He's the exact clone of his father, Keith, with more scoring. Do you agree?
Yeah. Yeah.
That question's to you, bro.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Absolutely. You know, now that I've digested it, I'm happy. I'm happy.
Tkachuk actually likes to shoot, so that's a big plus. Absolutely.
Right. Steve with another fiber. Tkachuk was third in turnovers. Uyghur and Huberto were tied for 6th. Were they tied? Let's go, more contact. Well, we still got rid of 2 guys for 1, right? We still got. I'm waiting. By the way, Steve, I'm waiting for my Tkachuk jersey to show up in the mail. I'll trade you. I'll send you this one back. Oh man. Yeah, somebody up above it thanked Panther management for the great trade. If you can sign them. And let me know how it works out that first time Uyghur gives up the puck behind the net. Yeah,
Frank, I don't know, buddy. All I know is this is the first time ever that I'm on a video where I'm basically drenched. Hold on a second.
puck monkey. Panthers should retire 11, 16, and 19 in one night.
What is the humidity level in Delray Beach, Florida?
Yeah, it's pretty hot. It's even hot here today. Let's
Mute.
Go ahead.
Huberdeau, 1 goal, 4 assists in the playoffs. Tkachuk, 4 goals, 6 assists. I think someone posted earlier that he had 12 points. Huberdeau only had 11 more points than Tkachuk in the regular season on an offensive juggernaut that was scoring 8 goals a game. I'm not getting an answer. My phone's been acting up all day, but the humidity level is high. That's all.
Yeah.
Mike C. Stu, get some water. Hold on a second. Good
Yeah,
idea.
go get Stu some water. All right. The vintage Uyghur, Tack says the vintage Uyghur jersey will be worth millions one day. Yeah. And Steve says he's not giving him. You're not sending me the Tkachuk version. All right, that's cool. That's cool, man. 3 goals came in one game. William, am I happy about the trade? And Daniel wants to know how do I think the trade will affect overall team chemistry. The further the morning has gone on, the happier I get about it. Let's look at it this way. I mean, if this is certainly an exciting way to get rid of Uyghur. If we were going to get rid of Uyghur, this is certainly more exciting than waking up that we traded Uyghur for a pick or 2 picks or something like that. So I'm happy there. And we get a younger, different player than Huberdeau, but we still get a much younger player than Huberdeau who's has every opportunity to bring us the same amount of points, et cetera, et cetera.
Here's a good one for you, Eric. Daniel Espinoza. How would you think this trade will affect the team's overall chemistry?
It's going to change things. Because I'm sure Huberdeau and Uyghur were a huge part of that locker room. But you have a new coach as well. I think a lot of things were changing. And we just got swept in the second round by Lightning, and I think things needed to change.
Yeah, Mute. Right on, bro. Uyghur is the reason why the Panthers lost Game 1 versus Washington. Correct. Uyghur is the reason why Panthers lost Game 2 versus Tampa. Correct. And also the last game too. He's a defensive liability. I've been saying that forever, but now he's a stud. Gotta love the NHL community.
Right. Frank, again, thank you, sir. He says, let's be real. We got to thank Huberdeau for the memories. I'm sure somebody's going to have a video out. I'm sure somebody will put out his highlights and whatnot. There's a few guys that make videos like that.
Yeah, well, wait till Calgary comes to visit. You'll see a really big tribute.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's just, it's too bad that Uyghur's in that also because they're going to have to put something up for him, but
yeah, they're gonna have to.
They're gonna have a big tribute for Huberdeau.
Do we want Corey Perry? No. We're good. Tack says Uyghur was just thrown in with Hubie to make the cap work. Yeah. Because remember, Uyghur was only gonna get 3.5 or 3.25 last year, and Tack, you're correct. Now we get to keep Hornquist. So,
Evan Wenner, would you rather give 8 years, 9.5 mil to a 29-year-old or a 24-year-old? We talked about that.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd rather have Tkachuk at 24 years old. You watch what he does in the next 3 years, which should be his peak years. Again, it all depends on who he's going to play with and who he gels with. If it's Barkov, That would be so amazing. But we'll see.
Right. Daniel says a non-biased opinion with so many new faces from coach to players. I could see in the new like a new beginning of battle of egos.
Whose ego, Daniel?
Well, I think what he means is like a battle to be like who's going to be the leaders on the team. You know what I mean? Because you got to figure Huberto and Uyghur are a big voice in that locker room. So now you're going to have Hornquist, maybe Bennett step up. You know, we don't know what kind of leadership skills Lundell's eventually going to develop. He definitely seems to have a swagger about him.
DB Mano gonna miss his no look spin passes from. Yeah, absolutely. No, it's still no better passer in the league than Huberto.
Frank
Hey,
says,
Steve, good one. I'm gonna miss his cross ice no look passes to the other team. Right on.
he's talking about Uyghur, right?
No, he's talking about Huberto.
Oh man.
Renaud, when will they look to move Bob, or is this a sign he's staying now? Bob is staying.
Right.
Bob, yeah, Bob is staying. Let's just leave it at that. Tactical Nook. All right, Steve, we should trade Barkov to get Uyghur back and give him the C. Does Tkachuk take Hubi's A? Good question.
Good question.
I was thinking about that this morning.
That's a good question.
Hornquist is definitely going to get an A, and Ekblad has the A. That's what I think.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. Because it's 2 A's, right? Or where's there
Well,
3?
they had different A's on the road.
Yeah, they had road and home. Yeah. Yeah. That's a good point. That's a really, really good question. And again, we don't know with Maurice, we don't know what he's thinking.
Do you wish they kept Marchment now that Tkachuk is here? Listen, my feeling about Marchment is the fact that he's been injured a lot and he had 2 concussions this year. All that has to happen, God forbid, 1,000,000 times, he gets hit again, he gets another concussion. I think he's done.
Right. So Nick says, as of today, can this Panther team beat Tampa?
If they show up.
There's a lot of ifs. They're good, high quality ifs, but Knight, Cousins, Balsers, and whatever that bottom pairing on D. I mean, there are some ifs. That's a tough question. You know, we don't know what Tampa's going to be next year either, right? Are they going to be energetically reloaded, or are they going to be, hurting? So,
Daniel Espinoza, my dad Pete wants me to ask this question. Is Zito/Maurice trying to mimic Colorado's rate of play intensity with all these offseason moves? You take that one.
it's actually a really good point. That's really a good point. We certainly have changed the landscape. And while Uyghur certainly was somebody who would go out 100% all the time, certainly can never fault Uyghur's effort level.
Agreed.
Huberto, last year,
Hot and cold.
yeah, I mean, up until last year, he pretty much during the regular season was the same player. But up
Right,
until
but
then,
there were times during the regular season where we thought he wasn't given 100%. Jim the Swede over in Sweden, something that's barely mentioned in this trade. It is pretty rare for a team to trade its franchise all-time leading point scorer in the midst of his prime. That's actually huge. Hey, they did it with Gretzky.
right?
Okay, nobody thought that Edmonton would ever trade Gretzky. So, Jim, it's business. And again, we couldn't afford to sign both Huberto and Uyghur. I mean, Huberto was going to get at least a Barkov trade, eight
Right.
million
Yeah.
at 10. I mean, 10 million for 8 years.
Right.
And that would have taken Huberdeau to 38. And who knows, players decline when they hit, 34, 35. So
Yeah.
who knows?
All right, so Frank's going to close this out here because I'm wearing out, and I'm sure Stu is melted. Frank with another fiver says, all right, boys, I'm going to the Keys to smoke a cigar, have a mojito on the beach, possibly cry and laugh, talk to myself about, and cry some more. Exactly. I'm going to go have breakfast.
I smoked 2 cigars during this chat, guys. Hey, we finished with 110 likes.
110 likes. So
not too shabby with 151 people watching. So hey, guys, man, this was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
More to be revealed because I don't think Zito's done. So we'll probably do another video.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and see if we can get Billy or Randy on. I don't know if they'll come on and talk about this trade, but we'll try. And that's it. Had fun.
Yep. Appreciate all the support, guys. I'm gonna go. I'm curious to see. Today was the first day I didn't wake up with the migraine, so we'll see what with the headphones. We'll see what I'm feeling it a little bit. So, we'll see what this did. I think I'll be okay. I'm not having any pain. It's just my body's saying, "Hey, go eat breakfast, though, man." So that's what I'm gonna do, and I'm sure I'll have more content out a little bit later.
I'm going to take a cold shower and cool off.
Yeah. Stu, go get on the. You should have got on the scale before the stream and after the stream. That would have been beautiful.
Yeah, I'm going back in the air conditioning.
Yeah. All right, guys. Appreciate all the support, and we will see you again really soon.